What's up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis here. We are back in the world of FTB, and we are currently wrist deep or elbow deep in Tinker's Constructs. And I've made a bronze pickaxe head because looking at the stuff over here, bronze is reinforced 1. Alumite, which I'm not quite sure how to make, is liquid alumite. What the hell is alumite? Hasn't shown me what that is yet. Wish I could see. Alumite ingots are made from a block of alumite, which is made from a bunch of ingots. It doesn't say how to get them. So I have absolutely no idea how to get it, but we're just going to use the normal reinforced one. I was kind of curious how this would work out. So we've got our bronze head. Going full bronze, that's reinforced. Now you can see right there we've got 454 durability and a mining speed of 7 with a mining level of redstone. So we're going to pull this out now and we're going to compare this. Okay, mining speed of 7. Now the default on this right here, this is heavily upgraded, mind you. This is a mining speed of 14. So this will mine twice as fast as this at the current time, and they're both at I believe they're both at, oh no, this is a mining level of obsidian. So it's actually a little bit better. So we are going to go ahead and play around with this a little bit. Now I did do a little bit of research today, and lapis is one of the setups that allows you to add fortune, I believe, to your pick. Yeah, modifiers remaining. Okay, you can see right here, lapis 1 of 450. Now what this does is it basically gives you, like I said, the equivalent of fortune, and you can see it requires a hell of a lot of lapis. So we're going to go ahead and cycle through this a little bit, and you can see it's added luck to the pickaxe now, and like I said, that just basically gives you the ability to get a little bit more every time you mine. Now we are going to also add on the diamond, so that it has a little bit more durability here in a second, and probably redstone to set up the haste. So you can see right here, that's going to give us quite a bit more durability, so we're going to go ahead and add that on there. Might as well. That also increases the mining level to obsidian, so now this is a badass pick of doom. And we need to get some redstone and some more lapis. I am going to max out the lapis on it. Now, it does say that I've got 1 more modifier remaining. I believe that's going to be concluded when we slap this in here. Yeah, that would give us 0 more modifiers. And that would pretty much give us an absolutely amazing little setup here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and finish doing all these little pointless clicks off camera so you guys don't have to suffer through all this. And we'll pick up once I've got this thing sorted. Alright, so we've gotten our pickaxe bumped up a little bit. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to max out the lapis because, well, we didn't have enough lapis. But I am curious to test out the fortune and see how it works. So right now we've got luck. We broke 100 on it. So I'm curious to see how much, if any, that will give us. So that's 4 iron. We have 4 iron. And I believe it's just a percentage chance. That's 8. That's 8 iron. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's kind of a bummer, actually. There we go. No, that's 20. That's exactly what we should be at. Damn it. So I think for each level that you put into it, it's like fortune 1. So 100 would be fortune 1, 200 is fortune 2, 300 is fortune 3, etc., etc. And so because of that, it's just one of those things that, well, it's kind of nice. It's not going to make you rich, which is kind of a bummer. This pickaxe is actually a little slower than our last pickaxe in the aspect that the mining speed is only about 10 as opposed to about, I think it was 17 on the last one. Not quite sure. So I'll have to look it up, but this one at least has the option of doing fortune. Now, I don't plan on doing a whole lot of mining anymore on this series, at least not this way, because, you know, it's about as much fun as watching paint dry. But we are going to be getting some quarries and some machines going, and I probably will have to come back down here a few more times to get the machine parts that we need and that are necessary to get rolling. So it is what it is. I'm going to head back upstairs. We're going to start smelting this stuff down, and we're going to start making our first machines. All right, so we've gotten most of our ores and such up here. I've started processing some of the stuff, but we're losing ingots every time that we process this, and that's kind of a bummer and unacceptable. So what we want to do now is we want to start up with some form of processing. Now, this is the part where the game gets a little hinky compared to normal FTB and normal IC2. If you're a big fan of IC2, usually this is the part where you're going to make some form of power generation, probably a basic solar panel, and then you're going to move into macerators and powered furnaces and things like that. Well, the problem with those on this version with GregTech in quote-unquote hard mode is you have to make some pretty difficult stuff. You know, they want you to start making all of this stuff in blast furnaces and things along those lines, and it makes it kind of nasty. If you go with the advanced solar panels, you know, you have to get all this iridium and refined uranium, and it's just nasty. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be switching over, and we're going to be utilizing, at least initially, the thermal expansion mod. Sorry, my mind completely blanked for a second there. So usually I would also make some Stirling engines. We're going to try and do things a little bit differently this time, and we're going to go with Clockwork engines. Now, Clockwork engines were something that was added in forestry, I believe, fairly recently. One of my subscribers mentioned this to me, and this is actually a pretty decent little setup. Now, I do need to go and get some sand real quick. I don't think I have that pattern, so we're going to go ahead and make that tool real fast. Now, we're going to need the sand because just like any engine, Clockwork engines need the ability to have a little bit of glass inside of them to kind of sort things out. So let's go ahead and make the head for, there it is, a shovel head. Put this right there. And then we're going to go ahead and use bronze for this as well. I think we've got enough gold now. Do I have enough copper in here? I got 2 things of copper. We need 1 more thing of copper and 1 thing of tin. Actually, we're going to need a little bit more than that, but we can start with this. Where's the 10 again? And 1, 2, 3. So we'll just do 9. There we go. Now the reason I'm making 9, because of we're using Tinker's Constructs, we're going to make basically one of these for the shovel. I won't be... Shovels aren't really something that you need all that much, all that frequently. I mean, they're a nice thing to have, but it's not something that you kind of have to have on a regular basis. You're going to dig a little bit here and there, but you're not going to be digging all the damn time. So, especially once we get all these machines going and most of our building at that point or our mining will be automated, it's probably not going to be that much of a hassle. But if I am going to make one, I might as well make one right. Make it nice, make it to last, so to speak. And I kind of like this setup where we use bronze because it's reinforced level 1, plus we could put luck on it, durability, haste, etc., and we can turn it into a digging monster. So we've got this going. I believe this will give us at least 1 bronze ingot. Yeah, it's amazing. 4 ingots to make 1 bronze. That's ridiculous. And while we're waiting on that, we can go ahead and make the head. Okay, there's our head. After that, we're going to want to make the shaft and the asphyxer. So 1 more copper for that. There we go. And we'll wait for this to process. Now, I believe some of these recipes are also affected by GregTech. Usually, if I recall, doing this recipe normally the way I'm doing it should result in 4 bronze ingots, but since we're only getting 1 bronze ingot, I do believe that is a GregTech change. There are several other GregTech changes, and the whole purpose of GregTech is basically to make the game just freaking harder. And you know, some people like that, some people don't. I kind of like the challenge in the aspect that it'll give me something to kind of work on a little bit longer term. Plus, Greg Tech adds some stuff later on, which is kind of cool. So, all right, these little chunks that we get, I believe there is a way for me to do something with these a little bit. Ah, zombie! There we go. Let's go ahead and rest the night away before something terrible happens to us. I do know there is a way for me to reclaim these nuggets. I think it does require a smeltery. I'm not entirely sure about that. Where did the nuggets go? There they are. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's a smeltery, but there may be a way to do it. Yeah. What is it? NEI isn't working for me, so I can't really tell. All right, let's put this together. We want a shovel. Oh, damn it, I didn't need the asphyxer. Oh, well. No big deal. So now we've got a reinforced shovel. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to really worry about upgrading it right now because we're just really not going to use that stuff for the moment. But let's head on down. We're going to have to head over to the beach off in the distance so that you can see some sand. And we'll see if we can't get a little bit of that for our machines. Now, the difference between Clockwork engines and most normal engines, Clockwork engines do not require fuel. Which makes them nice in the aspect that they'll put out a pretty decent amount of juice without having to, you know, waste all that time getting fuel and oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, they shoot so fast. I hate these skeletons, man. They got upgraded like crazy. It's like fighting little bony Legolosses from Lord of the Rings. I hate them a lot. I hate them so much. Now, because these things do require actual human interaction to function, it does seem that they run a little bit better than most of the other engines do right off the bat. But like I said, you do kind of have to maintain them and constantly check on them, which kind of makes it a pain in the ass. But it's a flip side, you know. One, you get fuel-less, easy power. But the drawback or the catch, so to speak, is you have to constantly be turning them on and turning them off. However, the nice thing about it is, unlike some of the other engines, you can easily control their input and output. So, you know, if you only need a little bit of juice, you run it for the, you know, the time you need it, and then you can shut it off when you're done, and you don't really have to worry about it consuming power, consuming partial power. You know, there's nothing more frustrating than being really resource restricted, you know, like you are at the beginning of the game, and then you put just a little bit, you know, of coal in there. Wish you could stop the engine. You know, you may not have access to a redstone torch to freeze it, and it just kind of gets to be a pain in the ass. This kind of solves that, so something to think about. Plus, they're fairly cheap. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this sand in here, let that start grinding up. We need some redstone because we're going to have to make a series of pistons. So we're going to go ahead and make the pistons now in our little pink brony crafting table. There we go. And I'm just going to make 4 of them for now. 4 of them should be plenty to fuel our basic needs when we first get started, and then we can expand it later on as we need to. I'm probably going to move straight into lava use with magmatics. That'll make it fairly easy. All right, so now that we've got that, we do need 4 clocks. Clocks are just basically redstone surrounded by gold. Got plenty of gold, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Split that up, put that, whoops, put that there. Bam, 4 clocks. And then we need, come on, we need some copper gears, which are just stone gears surrounded by copper. Now that's going to be a little bit of a pain considering I don't have a whole lot of copper yet. So let's go ahead and start draining some copper. 7 is enough for now. I'm going to put that in there. And let's make our gears. Do we have enough wood? Yes, we do. Okay. And we need 4 of these, I believe. So that should give us plenty. Hopefully I have enough cobblestone. I'm actually a little worried about the cobblestone aspect. There we go. Now we just need 12 copper. We've got 2 there, 2 there. That's not a bad number. All right, we're going to go ahead and skip past till I get all of these processed, and we'll pick up there. All right, so now that we have our copper ingots, whoops, shit. I'm retarded. I thought we had plenty. It's 16, not 12. Derp. There we go. All right, so 4. That's a critical math fail right there. Now we've got our copper gears. We've got this. We just need the basic wood up top. So let's go ahead and put our clocks here, our pistons there, glass there. We've got our copper gears on the left, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the rest. Bam. There we go. Now these little monsters are good to go, but we need something to power. Otherwise, we're just kind of wasting our time. So let's build a pulverizer. That's basically the first part of the duplication process and isn't too expensive. So for the pulverizer to work, we need 2 flint. I think I've got, well, we've got 1 flint, so we're going to have to grind up a little bit of this real fast to get a second piece. Shouldn't take long, hopefully. Come on. Be nice to Pyro. Is there any other... Damn it. Now one of the nice things about gravel is you can continuously place it for the option to continuously get flint should you need some. And you know, if you're on a PvP server or something and you need it for arrows or something along those lines. There we go. That's an easy way to do it. We've now got the flint that we need. What was the other component that we were needing? Okay, so we need gold and 2 redstone. That's a control circuit. That gives us that. We got 2 copper ingots. We need another piston, and then we need gold, iron, and glass. Okay, we got plenty of those. We're gonna need a little bit more of you. Got plenty of iron. So let's make the piston while we're waiting on the glass to cook. Now the pulverizer, for those of you who may or may not have watched my other series and may not be familiar with it, it is the key cornerstone in the thermal expansion that allows you to duplicate. It's the basic tier. There is a tier that's above it, but it's more of a side upgrade as opposed to a full upgrade. And what it basically does is it just turns all ores into 2 dusts, and then the 2 dusts can be smelted to get you what you need to do. Alright, I think we've got everything we need at this point, so let's test it out. We're going to go ahead and put the piston on top. We've got our 2 flint. We've got our little monster there, our copper on the sides, and there we go. So we've got our pulverizer now. I'm going to go ahead and set him up. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll just put him right here. Now, the nice thing about these machines is you can set them up pretty much any way you want. These little configurations over here allow you to choose where the stuff gets received from and where it gets put out from. So you don't have to do any piping or anything along those lines. So we've got this set up on here on the orange side. So we're going to go ahead and put gold ore in here. And now this is where we're going to utilize our Clockwork engines. So I'm going to put one in the back, one on the bottom, and one on the left side. So we'll put him here, put you there, and then right there. All right, you're gonna notice over here, this is an MJ storage. Unlike a lot of other machines, you can actually store up some juice with this machine. So we're just gonna hold right click on this. You're gonna notice it's gonna slowly start changing colors. We wanna go ahead and get it till it's red. There we go. We'll do the same down here. It's starting to look like a damn shake weight. All right. And as you can see, these require absolutely no fuel to do what they do. But they do rapidly start slowing down once you stop clicking on them. So we'll fire this one back up to red. And same here. But unlike a lot of others, if you maintain them, if you stay on top of them, you can pretty much keep them running in prime performance. Whoops. And you can see we're actually generating a pretty decent amount of power. So this will pretty much be our starter power source until we get enough stuff rolling that we can transition into magmatics. If red power was here, I would be very interested to see if we could actually utilize this to kind of auto click on them and kind of rock and roll that way. Now, we are just dumping the dusts into here. You'll notice that we're starting to acquire gold dusts. I am just going to simply transition these over into the normal furnace for now. And then once we get a little bit more juice rolling, I'll switch them over to the powered furnace, which will be the next machine that we make. Anyways, hopefully those of you guys watching on YouTube are liking this series. If you do, please slap that like button. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next clip.